Hey guys, this is Zemo Ren or Kyle or whatever you want to call me. Here to tell you that the Midnight Club podcast is officially rebranding to the Midnight TV. Hey! Hopefully, we won't have to change stuff around that much soon because let's be honest, coming up with brand names and logo is it's not fun. But we'll stick with the Midnight TV for now. And yeah, I apologize if there's any inconsistencies in the video. We're new to this, but yeah, that's all from me. Thanks for watching and have fun. Bye bye. Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, we're
Hello.
recording.
Hello.
We're good to go.
Yep.
What time is
Ang
it?
intro.
Oh, it's 4:49. Good morning, everyone. This is the Midnight Club podcast. Um, it's not
It's
midnight
still worse.
anymore. It's the morning.
You're the host, Kyle.
This is a one-shot episode, so at any given moment, I could just stop recording or I could stop talking because someone might go out.
Come in.
Yeah, someone might see me. I should not be awake this ungodly hour.
Brother Six going dark.
Going dark. Anyways, this is a one-shot episode, so this was unplanned. This is relatively short. And our guests for today are my good friends who were not with us the last time, but they're here now. So if you
Yeah.
guys want to introduce yourselves, go ahead.
My name is Jeff.
I fucking hate you.
Mm,
I have to
Dead
keep my
meme,
voice down.
yeah.
I have to keep my voice down. So this is Jasper.
Yeah.
Say
that's
hi.
me. Hello. I'm a cat.
He's a cat.
I like cats.
What are you? What are you into, Jasper?
I'm into aliens, man.
Into aliens. That's very quirky of you.
Aliens and cowboys, man.
Aliens and cowboys and aliens. And this is the next one is May. Introduce yourself. Please don't say anything that'll get us cancelled.
I'm May.
On the second episode.
You just-
I'm May. I am a friend of the host. I like to draw and to bake.
she or he likes to draw and bake. So yeah, these friends of mine were one of the they were supposed to be like they were with me when I was conceiving the idea for the podcast. So glad to have him here. Hey. So do you gents want to mention why we are recording? What are we talking about?
The topic that made us decide to record this session is
Dun,
Miss
dun, dun, dun,
May
dun,
here
dun, 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 dun.
started to watch
Back to the
Back to the
future.
She
Future.
watched
One,
Back to the
two,
Future.
three.
we're talking about which one is our favorite one. We should start with the person who's less into geek stuff.
Yeah.
Miss May.
Yeah. That's cringe, bro.
Oh hell yeah!
That's a joke.
I am cringe.
That's a joke.
No,
May.
sure, man.
Wait, how are we supposed to talk about Back to the Future kung hindi pa napapanood ni Kyle yung Back to the Future 3?
Let's just say I have vague memories of 3. This is a one-shot episode, so this is like I could upload this anytime. Alam mo yun, I don't have to record this na sunod-sunod.
Okay.
Like if ever wala tayong content, I could just like upload this one. Anyways, May.
What?
Yeah, Back to the Future. What's that
Okay,
about?
Back to the Future. So, funny story kasi for the longest time, akala ko kasi yung Back to the Future, it was a Disney original. So I was like, that's for babies. I don't watch baby movies. Disney original? What the hell?
I can't
So
believe you thought that was a Disney original.
that was, and then I remembered because I watched Rick and Morty before, and I remember that they took inspiration from Back to the Future.
Morty.
That's why the character Morty is named Morty
Mm.
because of Marty from Back to the Future. So I was like,
Ah,
Yeah.
okay, diba? Small world, diba? So it appeared on Netflix. And I was like, okay, fine, let's give it a shot. And lo and behold, Back to the Future
Mm.
won, and it was a glorious, glorious movie.
I agree. Yeah.
It's honestly, it's so timeless, except for the fact,
I
except
like your pun.
Get it?
except for the is it Lebanese? Yung terrorist
The
subplot.
fucking Libyans. The Libyans.
Libyans. Oh my
Jesus.
God. Like I
Yeah.
but then again, like the fact na meron siyang subplot na Libyans, it really like
So strange.
it really mas lalong na ano na galing siya dito sa time period na to.
That's fair.
Oh,
But you know, still it's still very timeless. My
Mm.
first impression of Back to the Future, the first Back to the Future, is
Yeah,
that
yeah.
it felt like a hentai plot line. Wait, wait.
Um. Yeah, you can call it that.
go, go on.
Yeah, kasi okay. First of all, it's kind of incesty, bro. That's kind of incesty.
Mm.
But it was all good.
Yeah.
I like the fact na very continuous na pati sa ending, like they didn't give Marty a break na parang no, we gotta
Mm.
go back to the future, Marty. We gotta go back.
Yeah, yeah.
That one. Uh, wait, am I gonna give like a rundown on how I?
No, if you're
Well,
so
you can
fluent.
just give like a quick rundown of how you feel about each movie. Like,
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
mm. It's up to you.
Okay, so Back to the Future one gave a really good impression for me. Like I was scared not to watch the 2 and 3 because I thought na oh
Mm.
because it's pretty hard to find movies that have good
Yeah.
sequels.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And this one started off like on a really good foot na kasi. So like parang do I really wanna watch it? But you know, I gave in. So Back to the Future
I think
2.
the fact they watched
Mm.
it alone.
The what?
Mm-mm.
She watched it alone without us.
Yeah, why?
Yeah,
Surprisingly.
grabe. But anyway, Back to the Future 2. I love the set design. Yeah,
The
the
set
set
design.
design for the
Yeah,
future.
yeah.
Oh, like parang
The drip.
sobrang halata na set siya. It's so
Yeah, but it
charming
it
in that
gives,
way.
yeah, it's so, what's the word, endearing.
Oh,
So
like
endearing.
it's so cute. Like get out of here, Marvel. Get out of that CGI landscape.
Oh
We're here
shit.
for the real set,
No, for real
bro.
though, for real.
Yeah, it's very cute. I like how they set Biff more as a villain, and I like how he's still pretty.
He's the
He's not
same
like
guy.
he's not the smartest villain, but he's a fun villain, you know.
Yeah, he's dumb and stupid.
Yeah, he's literally a mean himbo.
For real, yeah. Wait,
But
I feel like something's
I would
happening with my audio. Jasper? Sorry.
wala naman.
Sorry for the tangent.
Mm-hmm.
Alam mo
Mm-hmm.
yung scroll ko on my audio mixer?
Mm-hmm.
It's moving on its own. It's scrolling to the left. What the fuck? Wait. And I need to keep adjusting it everything because it keeps moving on its own. I don't know if
It's a
Alam
ghost.
mo,
this is weird.
Ghost
not
Story
real.
podcast.
Alright, that should do. Okay, we're fine.
Oh,
Anyways,
okay.
yeah, yeah. Continue.
Uh, but anyway, as much as I found Back to the Future 2 charming, the I would say like it's my least favorite of all the three movies because of the fact that in the end, sa may dulo na, they pinapahaba nila yung tension na,
Mm.
oh, Vic has the almanac. Oh no, Marty has the almanac now. It's all good. Oh wait, it's not the almanac. And then kay Vic ulit, and then kay Marty, and then kay Vic. Like, oh my god, it's so tense for no. Wait, there's a reason, but like, oh, why does it have to be so long? But
Is this for the second one?
yeah, it's for the second one. Like, I just want like a fun movie. Why does it
Mm.
have to be so
Yeah, yeah.
tense all of a sudden?
I agree.
Yeah, so
I
yeah,
actually like that about the second one.
really?
Yeah, it's just a huge pain in the ass.
I
I remember because the thing is when I was a kid, the second one was the first Back to the Future movie that I've seen, and I didn't know the context. Like I remember my hoverboard, and their drips were so cool,
yeah.
and may almanac for some reason. Like Marty was trying to look for the almanac, and I was like, I don't know what the almanac did. Must be something. I don't know. Biff is the.
Yeah,
But even as a
child,
child,
you didn't know what the fuck those are.
yeah, but as a child
You
though,
get
I still kind of mentally connected in my head now. Biff is a bad guy and he keeps appearing in different timelines. You know, me and my giga brain piece together like
that's
everything. Wait,
that
did
isn't what
Sarah
motivation.
did
Yeah,
May? Oh,
yeah.
okay. Oh,
Welcome back to the
welcome back.
podcast.
She has
I'm
internet.
sorry.
Transitioning.
She has internet
Yeah,
problems, unfortunately.
I'm not
Um,
gonna name drop, pero ayun,
yeah, I'm just.
yun
We're unfortunately Filipinos.
uh,
Yeah, so I even as a kid, you know that scene where Marty was looking for the almanac, right? And then Marty was like, "Doc, Doc, Biff is about to go to the Enchantment Under the Sea dance," and I was like, "Oh, it's like from the first movie, wow!" And then there's this scene where he was tailing Biff the whole time, and then he ended up in yung room, yung office no the bald guy, yung
yeah,
prof,
the principal
the
ata?
The
principal, yeah.
principal.
And he was like,
Not
Doc,
sure.
I got the almanac. And then he opened it, and it was just the cover. And it was like an adult magazine. And he was like, ooh la la. And I was like, oh
I'm
no.
not supposed to see those.
Oh no. Where's the almanac?
Ah,
Yeah, and I was like, oh my god. That's not good. So yeah, I more or less had an idea. I didn't know the context, but it was fun. But now that I've seen the first one and the second one, I can confidently say that the first one is such a solid movie. So
diba?
good. It's
So
so good.
And
good.
one
So good.
is usually a step down.
What was that, Jasper? I'm sorry.
Second one is a little bit of a step down.
It's just a little bit, just a little bit.
Bit.
But it's still a good movie.
It's still a
But
good
like,
movie.
Yeah, it's just that there's so much plot that's contradicting with each other. That makes
yeah.
it
Yeah,
hard for
I
casual viewers.
actually I noticed something, a flaw, if you will. It's a second one. So the movie starts with Doc asking Marty and his
The
girlfriend to
movie
come to the
starts at the
future.
ending of the first film.
Yeah, but you know,
Oh yeah.
it's fine. You know, it's all good, right?
Continuation, yeah.
So his motivation was to change the future because something bad was gonna happen, right? Um, so that's the thing, right? That's like his Doc's motivation is to change the future or to prevent something happening from the
Here she
future.
goes.
There she goes again. She went on the time machine, and then
Anyway,
for some reason Marty wanted to buy an almanac to get money, which sure it's pretty smart, but it's kind of would you guys say it's out of character for him to do?
yes.
out of
Like
character.
there's no motivation of that. Although, given the fact that you're in the future,
Mm.
yeah, you'd wanna know
Yeah,
what
you
would
wanna
be
know.
next.
I
Tsaka, I, wait lang, if I may add, like, sa current present ni Marty, sa
Stop calling
current
him
present
Morty.
niya, it's like, parang well-off na yung parents niya. So, like, what's
Mm.
the need for more money? Parang ganun yung sa akin.
Oh yeah.
Got to
I
have.
forgot. I
Mm.
forgot about that.
Yeah, they were already
Mayaman
well-off
na nga.
na, so like,
Yeah, mayaman na pala sila. So, what's the point? Yeah, I forgot. You're right. Hmm? No, what I was saying was Doc's motivation just straight up changed within 10 minutes. Cause he wanted to change something in in the future, diba? He wanted to
mm,
prevent that. And then when Marty showed interest in getting the almanac, he was like, "Oh no, that's gonna cause something to happen. We need to destroy the time machine." And I'm like, "What? Didn't we just establish that this time machine is like your baby? This is your child. This is your giga brain. This is a product of your giga brain, and you literally
Mm-hmm.
wanted to change the future, and now you want to destroy it." I just thought it was really weird. It was weird.
I
Not
I
gonna
mean,
lie.
yung behavior pati ideas ni Doc naman, it changes a lot. So I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Like hindi ko na inisip. Like, yeah, okay, yeah, Doc. Great Scott, I guess.
Great Scott, I guess.
Tickled
Yeah,
it.
there's
uh,
definitely more holes in this one, but yeah, that's at the top of my head. Those are the things that I thought were a little bit iffy for me. Just a little bit. Didn't really ruin the experience for me. Just a little bit. What about you guys?
Tsaka meron din na, I really didn't like Marty's character here in the second film,
It's kind of a
because
dick.
he was a dick, and also he had like a toxic masculinity with him na parang he didn't want to be called a
Yeah,
chicken.
so
Like,
much of the
pinapatulan
conflict
niya
in the movie.
talaga.
Like, maraming problems dun sa movie na hindi mangyayari kung hindi siya pumatol.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pero yun nga, it's gonna be solved in the third film now. But like in the second film, he was like kind of unbearable na.
Mm, yeah, especially the one where he finally got the almanac, tapos tinawag siyang chicken. So
Yeah,
yung the
exactly.
other Marty
Diba?
bonked
Totally.
him on
Yun
the head.
lang.
I think that's what you mean, right? Na pinoprolong
Yes.
nila. Yeah,
Yes.
you're
Oh my
right. Yeah, you're
god.
right.
How about you, Jasper? What do you think?
Yes,
I kind of like that
I agree.
sequence on the car na hinahabol na he's still trying to get the almanac, pero I guess the way it was set up
It's a
na his
repetitive
his
scene
ego was so
sequence.
fucking huge. I guess
Yeah.
that's what I
Yeah.
didn't like, yung setup nun.
Well, I mean, to be fair, coming from a person who time traveled from the past and redeeming his family, like he knows like after the time travel, the first time travel he did is his family's cool now. I would understand the character different, the different part of his character, evolution of his character to being a dick, to being cocky in other words.
Yeah, I was also thinking isn't his character cocky in the first place? I'm not
Yeah,
really sure.
remember that scene where he was auditioning for the band thing, where
Yeah, and
he
Oh
he blamed the
overplayed,
yeah.
teachers.
yeah, and he overplayed himself by
Mm.
playing
Yeah,
harmonica.
yeah, yeah.
I guess that would be one scene to express his character being a cocky.
Yeah, he's a little stinker. Yeah.
I think it's because of the fact that he saw like his dad being pushed around. So his ego, he was like, okay, yeah, I gotta not make myself get pushed around like my dad. You know
Yeah.
how it is. uh,
Um
Well, are we gonna go to the third one now?
I haven't seen the third one, but if you guys want to talk about it, I guess go ahead.
Yeah.
Although
Yes,
I
because
will say,
Casper's favorite movie.
Jasper, I
Wow.
I love you, buddy, but I gotta say, no, I don't. I want to be fair. Never mind. I'm not gonna say it. Oh, I'll just say this. I haven't seen the third one in a long time, but based
It's
from what I
understandable.
remember, the third one is my least favorite because I used to think that cowboys are lame.
Yeah, that's
Reiterate,
pretty much
reiterate on
us.
used to. Okay, I have respect for cowboys now because
Pretty
of you.
much.
Okay,
So
Kyle.
They're outlaws.
no, I mean sa akin kasi, as a child, me and my young monkey brain was like, I don't want to see cowboys. I want to see cool future stuff. That was
Yeah.
my mindset coming in. So, ngayon nga lang, I actually forgot how we came to the plot of the cowboys until I rewatched the second one like yesterday. Where I was like, how did we get to the third one again? And then I remembered, oh, so the DeLorean got struck by a lightning
Lightning.
and
Yeah.
the time machine sira siya, right? It kept on
Yeah.
like bugging in
Going.
different
Yeah.
timelines.
Yep.
So that's what happened. Naalala ko nga. So, yeah, what do we think of the ending of the second one? Because I'd
I
like to
remember,
think na medyo
vaguely remember any
Uh,
ending
the
of the
second one kind of made the third one a companion piece rather than being a film that stands on its own. Do you
on
guys
its own.
agree?
yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I can
Actually,
agree.
the whole trilogy is a
Well, I mean,
companion.
because if you think about it, the first one is, it has some implications of a sequel, diba? Pero I don't know. It's kind of like you
It's like
can you
a
can leave this movie on its
like back
own.
to
And
as like a part one.
yeah, yeah. Part two felt like a part one for the second one and the third one.
Shonen anime.
It's like a shonen anime, which we will be talking about next time.
No. Jeez.
Like the JoJo's.
Ooh,
We'll get there.
no.
So yeah,
No.
I personally nanggigil ako dun sa ending ng second movie kasi
why?
ano ba, ang haba na nung tension tapos biglang nawala lang sino ano yun.
Imagine what it must have felt
Cliffhanger.
like in the late 80s at the movie theater. You're
Like,
like,
what's
oh
what's
god, there's
happening?
a
What's happening?
trailer. Oh god, it's coming in like sa 2 years pa.
But I found it cute yung ano, yung the letter plot. That was really
Fucking
cute.
Western Union guy.
Oh, ang cute nun. Ang cute nun.
That was weird, but yeah, I was like, okay, that's fun. Like 70 years na letter in their possession. I think that was
Ingat
a
na
fun
one.
fun concept.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Looks like we can trust Western Union with our letters, guys.
Wow.
This is
So
not a sponsorship, but Western Union, if you're listening,
willing to take
willing
sponsorship.
to take sponsorships. What was I gonna say? Oh, what do we think of Biff as an antagonist for the second one?
He's your typical jock bully.
Mm.
I thought is is all of the versions of Biff played by the same guy?
Parang,
Yes.
Because if future Biff was too much, I don't know why. Am I the only one who noticed that?
I think you're trying to say old Biff is very exaggerated on what
No, no,
happened.
no, not old Biff actually. The future Biff,
mm?
the one with the bat.
What
No,
bad?
no, no, no. Biff wasn't
Ah,
his
the
name. It was Riff or
the
something. I don't
so
know.
Griff. Yeah,
Ah,
Yeah, Riff.
nephew,
I
nephew.
don't know why, but
He's
his
so over
acting
the
was
top.
a little bit
Over the top.
too over the top.
bro, I love their fits though, not gonna lie.
Imagine
Marty
everything
sporting
like
that snapback predicted the future. Don't at me.
that
Hello.
judgeable thing.
Yeah, the new snapback niya. Kasi it's funny kasi when they jumped to the future, it was 2015, right?
Mm.
And I kept checking like the set design and the costume design. Like, is there anything in this movie that's kind of still accurate? And it's funny how Doc said you're going to meet Riff in that nostalgia trip 80s store. And I was like, you know what? That's actually a
Yeah,
real thing.
it's so true,
Like
King.
so much like photo shoots have happened in 80s diner aesthetic, like Riverdale. Or wow, it's an 80s diner with neon lights and checkered linoleum floors. So I just thought it was funny. Um, the fits, some of them, I do admit, I do see sometimes on like Twitter or something. You know those super fashionable TikTokers or
Or in
models.
other words, tech wear.
Yeah, they're Back to the Future established tech wear.
Drip.
Don't at
Yes.
me
My meme. My meme.
for real.
Uh, yung part na, di ba si Marty, he fell into the pond. Yeah, he fell into the pond like
Hoverboard. Hoverboard thing.
sa second, yeah, yeah, sa
Yeah,
second
yeah.
movie, and then he got his future clothes all wet. Tapos biglang nag-dry yung clothes niya on its own. I was like, yes, just like Spider-Man. I
I
see.
hate that I thought of the same thing. Wow, it's like that one scene from
Wow,
Homecoming.
they got that so right about the future.
Have you guys seen the deep fake video of Doc and Marty, but it was Tom Holland and Robert Downey Jr.?
I don't want to.
It's
No.
so
Copying first.
cursed. But let's say
Kind of
I'm going.
thinking about it, if they're gonna reboot it, and I hope I hope they
I hope
don't.
they don't.
But
But let's say in a perfect
Oh
world,
no.
the characters of Robert Downey
Tom Holland.
and Tom Holland has a good chemistry on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I,
mean, I'm not saying I want them to reboot Back to the Future because please don't. I don't think they will. But sometimes whenever Marty talks, I can hear a little bit of Tom Holland in there. A little bit. I don't know if it's just me.
yeah.
Did you guys die?
Natatawa ako na because Marty McFly, he doesn't look like a high school kid anymore like sa 2 and 3.
He's just a really short man,
He looks really like he looks like
a college dropout.
an adult now. He
Looks
looks
like
like
an athlete.
you're expecting me to believe this.
The
But then
fucking,
again,
the fucking
but then
college
again, hindi
dropout.
naman ano eh, hindi naman siya nakaset lang sa high school setting, so it's okay.
I
It
guess
can pass.
it can pass.
It can pass.
Did you guys know that Michael J. Fox is also Stuart Little?
What?
Yes, he voiced him.
Yeah, he voiced Stuart Little,
He voiced.
bro. Yeah,
What?
yeah. I don't think his voice ever changes. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Kind of sad though. He developed uh, what's that? What's that disorder? Or is it a
You
heart
do drugs?
disease? No, no, no. His hands won't stop shaking. Uh, what's
Tourette's?
that? No, it's not Tourette's. It's
Alzheimer's? Wait, no. It's a different one.
Ano? Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I forgot the name then.
So,
Talaga, he developed that pala. That's unfortunate.
I feel like I've already mentioned to you guys the issue with Crispin Glover.
Mm.
George McFly.
Yung, yeah, oh my god, he's so handsome. I love.
it's called Parkinson's.
Mwah.
Parkinson's.
He developed Parkinson's.
Oh, shit.
You know,
Yeah, so if you guys didn't know, right, Back to the Future facts. Crispin Glover, um, he was George McFly in the first movie, right? So the first movie, it earned a lot of money. So the studio were like, "Oh shit, we're gonna make a second one, right?" The usual. So second one comes, and Crispin Glover were was asking for a raise for his money because he noticed that he wasn't getting paid as much as the other actors, which is, I feel like it's
Fair,
valid considering
fair.
he was like the
He's part
second
of it.
main, yeah, he's like the second main
Part of it.
character in the first movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then studio was like, no. So that it's kind of sad. So he was like, oh man, well, I'm walking out. Bahala kayo sa buhay nyo. And the studio, out of desperation, if you guys rewatch Back to the Future 2, you'll notice that the first scene that you see him in, excuse me, the first scene that you see him in, which is in the future, he was upside down because he quote unquote got an injury from a golf game. I believe it was just some sort of injury. So, it was the future. So he was upside down, and you don't really see it. I didn't even notice it until I looked up
Second
this
view.
issue, yeah, on the second viewing. But that actor was not him, but it was another guy, and they CGI'd his face in without
Sadly.
his consent.
Yeah.
So that was
Me time.
it was like it's like the origin of deep fake or some shit like that. But nonetheless, it wasn't cool. So this
Legal.
pissed off the actor so much that he sued the studio, and he did win. Like he got some money out of it, but because of what happened, that situation kind of established this rule. In Hollywood, in making movies, where you can't use the likeliness of another actor without their consent, and it still applies to this day because of that situation. But luckily, Crispin Glover starred in a lot of well-known movies like Charlie's Angels. I don't know,
Pretty,
Alice in
pretty well
Wonderland.
known.
Yeah, he's pretty well
Well,
known.
well known, yeah, during this time.
He always plays like the little stinkers, the creepy bad guys. That's what I noticed actually. He always plays the bad guys. Have you guys ever heard of Wilson?
Well,
And face.
Okay, so when I was a kid, I watched this horror movie where this actor, the same actor, right, Crispin Glover. Because I remember him from Charlie's Angels, because he was the bad guy with the katana, and he likes sniffing the Charlie's Angels hair, which was weird. But I remember seeing him in this horror movie where he was this sort of socially inept loner who was friends with this really big rat. And he
rat.
since he had this friendship with this rat, whenever I don't know, whenever he hated someone or whenever someone antagonized him, all of those rats would just kill that guy, kill the person. And it was just this repressed memory at the back of my head until I looked it up like a few weeks ago. So apparently it was a movie in the early 2000s, maybe '02, called Wilson, and it's
Oh,
a sequel to a movie in the '60s called Ben.
Wow.
Dun naman sa Ben, so it's called Wilson kasi yung pangalan nung, I believe yung pangalan ng rat is Wilson, I think. I'm not sure. But in Ben, it's either the main character is named Ben or the first rat is named Ben. Basta they're kind of connected, pero different time periods na, you know what I mean? But I feel
mm-hmm.
like it's the same rat.
Like Back to the Future.
It's like, oh, it's like Back to the Future.
Is that a Back to the Future
Holy
reference?
shit.
Oh my God, Pickle Rick.
Pickle Rick?
Correct?
So,
Christ.
in Ben, it was a movie in the '60s. I believe it was an African American child, yung bida doon. And instead of a few people, I feel like the rats antagonized the whole neighborhood. And the soundtrack for that movie is the song Ben by the Jackson 5.
Oh,
Yeah, you know that really sweet,
That's so quirky.
sweet song, Ben from the Jackson 5? My mom kept telling me this is the theme song for that rat movie. And I was I
rat
was like,
movie.
Wonder
what do
Persona
you
Zero.
mean? this sweet sounding song is for a rat movie, and then I looked it up, and apparently it
It
was.
is.
Yeah, it is. So
And that's where you start developing liking rats.
it's just a thing that people. Yeah, it's whatever. Anyways, yeah. Crispin Glover is a pretty good actor. I can't say the same for the others. I haven't really seen the. When I was, have you guys ever watched the shitty Piranha remakes? Like
No.
Piranha 3D, 3DD, 3DDD, and it's just this shitty B grade movie filled with titties and piranhas and blood
And gore.
and
Ano
Yeah.
gore.
hindi, hindi.
Cause it's a
I don't.
piranha movie and
I
marami
don't know.
nagsiswimming and people with
Yeah.
bikinis and there's always
Um,
like a slow motion shot of boobies
Basically clickbait.
bouncing.
Yeah. Clickbait.
It's like
oh,
porn but not really. So
And
anyways, I brought that up because I remember when I was a kid, I shouldn't have seen this movie, but they bought the DVDs. I was like, I'll watch it, and
that the first child film. Hey,
that's
that's the first movie, adult movie you watched as a child. Mine was
no, I can't say it was, but it's
mine was, it's
surprisingly
up
there's a lot
there.
of nudity. Yeah, it's up there.
Yeah.
What about you?
Mine was this movie in the plane. Like it's called
Snakes
Snakes
in
in
the
the Plane.
Plane is like
I
I
remember. I remember.
Sam
I remember.
Jackson saying I've had enough with these
I remember.
motherfucking snakes on the plane. I can't I can't hindi
It's
ko
the
pwede
first time I
taasin yung
saw it.
boses ko because I'm literally it's like 5 a.m.
Bravo Six going dog.
Yeah, so I'm going to mute when if my parents wake up. I'll just let you guys know. Yeah, but
no problem.
anyways,
If your parents wake up, it means that the podcast is over.
I just immediately stop recording. Yeah, so I brought up. We'll get back to Snakes on the Plane, Jasper, and maybe we'll ask May what her first like adult movie was, or movies that she shouldn't have seen when she was a child, but she
Oh,
did anyways.
she's gone.
Oh, she's gone.
She's gone.
I brought up Piranha 3D because Christopher Lloyd,
Shadow,
was that his
Shadow
name?
Spec.
Was it Christopher Lloyd?
Oh,
Um, Emmett Brown, Doc from Back to the Future.
oh,
He was
Oh,
in the
okay.
movie, and guess what his character was? Some crazed old man who has big brain knowledge. Yeah, because I remember
it's literally Back to the Future with
with
small sharks.
piranhas and titties.
Wow.
So when I was a kid, I was watching the movie, and the plot of the movie is, if I'm not mistaken, they came from some canyons, and it's either there was an excavation happening or just something disturbed them, but they're basically prehistoric giant piranhas that came out of nowhere and they seeped into the water system. So there's a music festival happening. It was summer, lots of titties and drinking and alcohol. So some of the main characters, when they found out that there were piranhas, about to seep into the water system, they called the local marine life expert. So lo and behold, we have this crazed old man who has big brain knowledge about prehistoric marine
Who was it?
animals.
Emmett Brown.
It's Doc Emmett Brown himself, and I was like, it's the guy from Back to the Future.
I
So
mean, it's
yeah,
true.
Grabe naman
that's
yung
like the
DeLorean na yun. Nakapag-time travel pa ko sa ibang movie.
it's like the only movie outside of Back to the Future that I've seen him in. I feel like I've seen him in something else, but maybe it's not as well known, so I don't really remember. What about you, May?
I have no recollection of any adult films that I accidentally watched when I was a kid. I just remembered na parang sinabi ko sa parents ko na this doesn't feel right. Like watching a certain scene, watching certain scenes like ABS-CBN lang.
Just
And then there's
CBS-CBN.
like ABS-CBN, tapos merong
Yeah.
like mga scenes na parang, oh, that's kind of
Mm.
steamy though for a PG show.
Yeah.
And then I will just tell my parents na,
Mm.
I don't feel too good, ma.
I don't feel too good, ma.
Yeah,
Mm.
hindi naman ano sa akin yun eh. Like, wala lang. Yeah, that's my only experience with kind of adult scenes.
So like soap operas.
Yeah, soap
Soap
operas
operas,
lang.
yeah.
And that's what you got being in a country you made it as a culture. Just
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah.
yeah, very
Damn.
Okay.
normal, which is very alarming.
Yeah.
So
Unfortunately.
let's finish the last piece of the trilogy. So Back to the Future 3.
I'm gonna be quiet for this part. You guys go ahead and take the
Oh,
lead.
sure, sure.
Sure, man.
I'm gonna get
Very
water.
Kwento
You
na,
guys go ahead. I'm gonna get
kwento.
water.
Oh, okay. Kwento natin yung let's give a rundown on the third film. So, di ba, dumating na yung Western Union, and then
wow.
there's like letters of
Mm-hmm.
Doc saying na, oh, I'm in the 1800s. I'm okay. Don't go back here. It's all good.
But he
Just
did.
just go have fun.
Enjoy
Go
your
back.
life.
Just go back to the future. Live your life. I'm okay here, and it's okay. Mm, but of course, Marty he had to go to the dock like in the 1960s,
Mm-hmm.
and then tinulungan niya siya like to build a time machine again. But this time, nakita naman ni Marty, he discovered that si Doc namatay siya in the 1800s by none other than ancestor ni Biff.
It's all. It's literally a Star Wars reference. Literally,
No,
what
no,
it
no, no,
revolves
no, no,
into
no.
one
We're gonna watch
film.
Star Wars pa soon. Don't tell me about it. Shh, shh, shh. Okay, anyway. Oh, nagising na ba yung parents ni Kyle?
So
Uh-oh. Anyway. So, where was I? Okay, so syempre nakita yun ni Marty. He's like, you know what? I gotta save Doc. So he went back to the past, sa 1800s, to warn Doc. And it's all funky. It's so cute. Ang cute ng set design sa desert.
yeah, I love westerns.
Pretty. Uh,
I'm back.
then
Hello.
he... Hi!
Yeah, what's up?
May nagising na ba?
No, no, no. I'm good.
Kala namin kala ko meron na, ano eh, meron na narinig. Anyway, so we were talking about, nasa 1800s na si Marty.
Mm.
He didn't follow what Doc
Toxic
wanted him.
the message.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What happened
You-
next?
Hello.
Jasper, help me.
I remember so vaguely on that song, but I remember like it's cowboys.
Cowboys. Maybe we can
Yeah.
get
Call
back to
back
that, next time. So
Bakit talaga na?
no, no, no. Pero since we don't really
You
we
don't
don't
want to
really
drag the
remember.
topic.
Yeah. I mean, if you guys want to talk about anything else to
Okay, but like, okay, ito na lang. Yung
mm,
rank number 1 is Back to the Future 1, number 2, Back to the Future 3, and then the last one is Back to the Future 2.
um my rating may
I have to rewatch
change.
it again though.
Yeah, because it's gonna change and rewatch. But as of right now, my rating is Back to the Future 1, Back to the Future 2, Back to the Future 3. For now.
Talaga?
For now.
You guys
Okay, okay,
realize
okay.
like there's something odd about uh me in trilogies. Like we could use the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy.
Yeah.
Like the third one being the worst, but the third one being my most favorite one. and then going to the Back to the Future one, and the third one being
The best one for you.
the one that flew under the radar, but it was the best for me.
Really? Did it? It wasn't it a hit, the third one?
I mean,
I don't think it
not
was.
a lot of people are talking about it.
Oh, okay.
Why? Like if you mention Back to the Future, the cowboy part isn't something that you'd
Yeah,
remember
you only
first.
remember the one from the 2015 one.
2015? Sorry, what?
Yung the second one where they time traveled to
Yeah,
2015
the in terms of Back to the Future iconography.
or Icon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
other than the DeLorean, it's the hoverboard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I
the
mean,
hoverboard.
I gotta kind of understand why. Kasi Western is very saturated naman na kasi we've seen a lot of it.
Yeah,
So,
it's what
like,
defined Western cinema.
yeah,
But then the
like
next
how
step.
you said, uh, it's cowboy, so it's kind of boring.
But
Come on,
it has an
Biff's
appeal.
there. It's not boring.
It
I
has an
wouldn't say it's
appeal.
boring.
Also, can I just say how this was supposed to be a one shot, but it's almost like a full episode. So I don't know. Maybe this will be episode two. I don't know. We're 40 minutes in, so it's almost as long as a regular episode. So we'll see. I'll make up
We'll
my
see.
mind when editing this.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Tsaka, yung gusto ko kasi sa 3 is that Marty, nag-develop yung character ni Marty dito. He didn't fight Biff na in the
With the
end.
chicken.
Yeah, he was
Yeah, I
he
remember that.
Biff
Yeah.
was calling him yellow, and then dapat papatulan na nga siya ni Marty, but like he chose not to because you know what, it doesn't matter. He uh essential basically like he learned his lesson, nag-develop na siya as a character, and now he's not gonna make the mistakes he made
Good
in
for
the last
him.
movie. Good for
Good for
He
him.
him.
learned
Yeah, for real.
some old ass
I,
90s, man.
I have no, wala akong masyadong comments sa love, sa
Interest.
romance ni Doc for the third movie.
I personally
Like,
feel like that's a good way to end his story. Not that he had a story in the first place, but I didn't mind that. I was just glad that Doc had something to do other than spit
as a closure in the
giga
film.
science words and
I
fly
guess.
around the DeLorean. But I can't say for sure because the only thing I remember is the ending of the third one.
Freaking DeLorean becomes a train, man.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. It was stupid,
Yeah.
but it's cool.
I think it's pretty sad na nasira yung DeLorean, but okay.
What? It gets
Right.
broken?
Spoilers.
What? Kala ko pinanood ko
Oh, I
eh.
mean, this came out in the 90s, so it's not a spoiler. It's fine. Oh, man.
But it's pretty sad. Tsaka, uh, Marty was
Yeah.
able to change his future by hindi nga pinatulan yung bully to like mag-speed sila, which would
Mm.
the Marty getting injured, and then pangit nga yung marriage nila ng girlfriend niya in the future. So that's
Mm.
pretty good. He learned.
I see. I see.
Time to rewatch it, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna rewatch it soon. But I feel like we can
De,
conclude this.
nood muna tayo Star Wars.
Oh
Back to
God.
back to the Star Wars.
Yeah. So May here has been getting into a lot of
Nerd stuff.
pop culture stuff like
Nerd and Kino stuff.
movies that define pop culture as a whole. So we've been rewatching the Spider-Man movies. So we're
Mwah.
gonna watch
Beautiful.
all 9 Star Wars movies.
Hopefully.
I'm excited and also scared. I'm a little bit
Bakit
nervous at the same
katakot?
time.
Jar Jar.
No, it just
So I
reminds
can
me of It just reminds me of a thing that I. This is the thing that I did with a friend. I remember last year before we had Wi-Fi. I was talking to a friend, and she was simping for Kylo Ren, but she didn't know who he was. So I was like, well, in order
Jeez.
for you to understand, you gotta watch
Gotta watch.
all the Star Wars movies. And I made her watch it in a span of 1 week. So imagine all of the experiences that you've been through as a child growing up with Star Wars. Yung sa kanya was like compacted in 1 week. Also, I feel like someone's about to wake
Uy,
up.
kaya ba natin 1 week? Kailan 1 week break niyo?
Oh my god.
I, I,
I'd
no.
rather not.
Yeah. I feel like mas okay kung if we're gonna spread it out, you know?
Sige,
I wanna
sige,
keep my
sige.
sanity, you know? Thank you very much.
Fine, fine.
We'll get there. So I think we can conclude this episode by saying that Back to the Future, pretty solid
Must watch.
trilogy. It's pretty solid,
Must
pretty
watch.
timeless.
Very.
And I think Back to the Future 1 may fall under my top 10 best films list.
Oh my god, you're such a
I only have a few movies on that list. I only have two so far, which is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and Whiplash. So Back to the
It's
Future,
another topic for another episode.
yeah, it's another topic for another episode. Back to the Future is definitely under my top 10 best films of all time. Subjective, but yeah. The first one is just a solid movie. The second one, it's still pretty good. It's not as good as the first one, but it's close. And the third one, I'll get back to you guys on that. I still have to rewatch it.
Yeah, I'll get back on that as well.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
rewatch
we're both gonna
Yay.
rewatch it. So, is there anything you guys want to add?
um 5 a.m. na po.
It's
Look
like
forward to
6 a.m.
It's almost
Magsi
6
6 na ba? Oh my
Yeah.
god.
If you guys didn't know, we're called the Midnight Club because we just go on Discord every night, like late at night, because there's people at home in the morning. So that's probably the reason. That's why I'm whispering. I could probably be more.
Wait, you guys, first time ko like magstay up with you guys na until 6 a.m.
Oh my god!
Oh my god.
Wow.
Iyak na ako.
Just don't do that again.
Gusto ko lang po mag-shoutout sa mga kaibigan ko, si Jasper pati si Kyle, because I called them at like 3 a.m.
Don't explain why.
Umiiyak ako.
Oh no.
No,
Don't
I'm not
explain
gonna.
why. Yeah.
I'm just gonna say that I was crying. I was very sad, but they were there. They listened to me. Napaka grabe shower out talaga. Love you guys. Mwah.
Am I gonna have to cut that out?
No.
I'm too lazy. I'll just leave that in there. So
Okay.
what else do I have to say? Oh, so after rewatching and skimming through episode 1, I feel like I might keep this format where I'm going to keep the number of people in the podcast, maybe 3 or 4 at most per episode. Because six, I gotta admit, 6 a little bit chaotic. So yeah, I might invite some other people for specific topics. I might even reach 5 for some, but we'll see. Yeah, it's still a work in progress. I don't know how this works, but yeah. Well, that's it for
Wait, si Jasper. My message was si Jasper.
Jasper.
I'm
You have
good.
anything to add? You got to shout out to anything, to anyone, anything?
Don't be mean to Weezer and Cowboys.
Jasper likes his Weezer and Cowboys.
Oh.
Oh
So
man.
yeah, that was Jasper, the local cowboy. That was May. I wanted to call you something, but I'm not gonna say it.
Huh?
I was
You
gonna
might
call you
get up.
something, but I was not gonna say it. That was May.
Sige,
Excuse me.
mamaya, pagtapos na
Holy
ng
shit.
podcast, sabihin mo kung ano yun.
And
Wow.
this is Kyle, and thanks for coming to the Midnight Club. Good night.
na. Tulog na.
Good night.
Morning, actually.
See you guys in the next episode. Bye bye.